So
Oh, I don't know how to get the background.
Hang on, some more people come in here.
everybody is unmuted except Christina and Steven. And it would be fine to unmute yourselves.
Yay.
Oh, okay.
Diane,
Thank you.
you're muted.
Okay, Ed.
Oh, yay.
Ed.
And Lynn, unmute.
I knew no.
I knew.
I knew no.
You know.
Hi, everybody.
Wendy.
Nice to see
Hey, Wendy.
you.
Nice.
Hey.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Lee.
Lee.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi,
Julie.
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Donna D.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Alex.
Hi.
Sandra.
Julie.
Hello, Andy.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello, beautiful people.
Hi,
Hey, everybody. How sweet is this?
Hey,
Hello,
Fred.
Carolyn.
Judy.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, Ed.
Hello, Lee.
Hi.
Well, I guess I'll
Hey,
unmute myself.
Alfred.
Alfred.
Hi, Alfred. Where's
Alfred.
Alfred?
Alfred.
Right there.
Oh, wonderful to
There's
see you.
Alfred.
Hi, Erica.
You
Hi,
can
Daniel.
unmute
Hey, Judy. Hey,
yourself,
Wendy.
Alfred.
Hi, Diana.
I just sent the link to
Noreen. Hey,
Alfred.
Noreen.
He did have the link,
Thank you.
so he should be
I'm
joining.
here. Thank you, Catherine.
Hi,
Alfred.
Nancy.
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 Joy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Alfred. Hi, Nuno.
Hi,
Hi.
Nancy.
How are
You
you?
look bright.
Peter.
Judy.
On top of the world.
So
Looks
I want to
nice.
share
I
some
see.
stuff that the Galactic Federation can do because we're in that zone now and one never knows. You're all familiar with the term beam me up, Scotty.
Yes.
That's teleportation.
More and more each day.
And so why should it be amazing technology when we can do something like we did with the Challenger? With the Challenger, we sent a beam into the spaceship 45 seconds. There's that number, 45 seconds, before it blew up. And we just teleported them out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
You
Where are
texted, but
they?
you said you would explain on the call.
right.
Christy.
Christina or
And
Chris.
So we can do things like that.
Wow.
And they are the same age as they were then, 35 years ago now. And we've kept care of them in real energy environments.
Yay.
Wow.
Oh,
Thank you,
amazing.
Peter.
That's
So-
Inner Earth, right?
Pardon me?
That's Inner Earth, right?
Yes. Just where Admiral Byrd is also.
Hmm.
So we have tools that you're now getting ready for. If we had started to use those tools before you were ready for it, you would have everything but the right understanding. You think it's amazing, but you wouldn't understand it. People would explain it to you. You still wouldn't understand it. But now you can understand because we started at Diana's in the weekend before Thanksgiving. 10 of us. Hi, Hector.
Peter.
So now we're still.
Peter, unmute yourself, please. Peter, unmute. Sorry.
So we did that. We always do that. You just don't know about it. That doesn't mean we can't do it. And it doesn't mean we don't do it. We do. Yeah, it's plain and simple. Now, if you look at the website is even easier to understand because the first 10 sentences are on pre-quantum. And then the second 10 sentences are on quantum. And then everything else you learn because it's all real. It's all truth. You just don't know about it. Now you know about it. Every single word in that little over 9,000 words, they're real. Back in college, it was very disappointing for me, but I wanted to learn speed reading. And in 3 years, I was up to 20,000 words a minute. So it didn't take very long to read a textbook. It wasn't very impressive. Took a minute or less. I still do that. So new information, 20 words or less than a minute. Change a word, I'll pick it up. It's not from any magic, it's just from the skill. Skill every one of you can develop if you choose to. You can do it in about 1,000 days. That's 11 quarters. You may want to, and you may not, doesn't matter. So you are close. You're all beyond the quantum threshold. Takes about 1,000 days, 11 quarters to reach the quantum threshold. You're about halfway. Now, the 1,000 days, you're a little over 5 years. And you have everything available. So you can go faster than we could before. So what we care about is quantum. We don't care about mind, consciousness, thought, brain. They're there and they're distractors and we can use them, but it will go backwards. So we have 30 right now.
I think I saw Bonnie and Diane Hoyt together.
Ah,
Is that right, Narain? Did they join?
Bonnie said she
Saw
was
them
coming
too.
in, but I haven't seen her yet.
But it looks like they're gone now.
Mhm.
Looks like they're back again.
They will be in waiting. room.
Bonnie.
They
Hi.
can't get in right now.
Hi,
So-
Diane.
They're back again. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. So we're doing great. All of you are making progress in not using your mind, conscious brain, thought. Can't use
what
those
this
and
is
be
all about.
quantum. If you are using them, they're keeping you from quantum. So, questions?
Peter, this is
Yes,
Catherine. Is that what happened to Malaysian Flight 370
yes,
when it disappeared, went to Middle Earth,
right.
and all the people are safe there? That's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's because there's certain people on that flight, just as the Challenger 35 years ago, there were certain people. And they're important pre-quantum people. And that's why they were teleported before the explosion.
Peter, will those people from the Malaysian flight and from the Challenger be able to have contact with their families in the future? Well, I mean,
It all depends on
their
them.
okay.
Peter, what
You
is- Sorry.
have not stopped anything. You have continued. You are moving to pre-quantum or to quantum. You're more than halfway. Some of you are more than 3/4. You'll know. It won't be me that'll tell you. It'll be you because you can become younger. Everybody will have their day. And that day will be different. Every single one of you. There's no group thing about the individual process of becoming quantum and young. None.
It's just like having a personal birthday.
Well, it is. That's exactly correct.
a rebirth day?
Yeah. You basically become quantum and young and endless.
That's so amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Just a question regarding the teleportation. So, what is the difference between being teleported and being kept in real energy and dying, which they will go to real energy anyway?
The reason is it's there.
Okay. I guess there's no trauma, you know. It's a happy event and not a sad event for them, maybe.
You know, let's come at it a different way.
Thank you.
There were two, quantum singularity and myself. We did it without quantum strength. Until there was quantum strength, a way to balance pain, it was a joke. Took us about 10% to get there. And now we've gotten there. And you have each chosen to join. Unmute yourself, Joy. You're still muted.
How about now?
Now you're clear.
Okay,
Thank you.
so before, sleep time was real energy, small letter, but with quantum strength, it is now analog, right? Correct? Is that the difference, or is that not even the same thing?
It's don't combine them. There isn't a combination. There's pre-quantum and there's quantum.
Okay, I see the separation then.
Okay. There's evil, which is live backwards.
Okay,
There's those that are very evil. They're going to live out their evil life, thinking there's no change. But reality is they'll die. And then when they come back, they'll come back. And it's up to them.
okay. I had an interesting experience last night, and Nareen may know what I'm talking about. We had a tornado warrant watch. And at 5 a.m. this morning, I thought my ceiling was blowing up. It was so loud, the thunder and lightning and the wind and so on. So I reached the quantum strength and analog and started saying peace, calm, everything's balancing. And on me, within a minute, the thunder stopped. And then I was shocked because I said, well, that couldn't really have happened. But I think it did, so it was pretty interesting.
Well, exactly. See, one of the things is that none of you really realize how powerful you are.
I know, it gives me goosebumps, actually.
And I mean, we have accomplished an enormous amount. If you don't have more skills than you had a year ago, raise your hand. Right? No hands went up. None. Well, if you have more skills, you have more reach. If you have more tools, you have more reach. And you guys have an enormous amount. Your biggest problem is your ego. Your ego doesn't count. That was a learning tool, a pre-quantum learning tool. But it will do its best to hold on. The trickster will do its best to trick you.
Yeah, your ego thinks it counts a whole lot.
Correct. Correct. But you, if you get out of your own way, are enormously powerful.
Thank you, Peter. I still have goosebumps.
Peter,
Yes.
how does the quantum dot correlate with ascension?
Ascension is a pre-quantum term.
I agree. Thank you.
It's a very good response. Cynthia. Thank you.
I just wanted to share something yesterday. I was just in my car driving home, and I've been repeating the threes over and over again, and it just helps me. I feel like on the website there's a bypass sign, and I like see that in my head, and it's like a beam of light and energy that is like bypassing everything. And when I have quiet time, I do that, and that helps me refocus. But I was doing that, and all of a sudden my magnificence just told me to like really slow down. I was going like maybe 10, 15 miles an hour in a neighborhood, and it just said slow down. And I was like, oh, okay. So I slowed down, stopped at the stop sign, and I looked to my left, and I saw there was a car going about 40 miles an hour and blew through that stop sign. And I don't know, I don't think I would have been killed, you know, but like been seriously injured if I would have just progressed at the normal speed of my brain and my thought and my consciousness. Just, you know, there's no one there, so I stop and I go. But really tuned in, and so thank you for simplifying the threes, and then the 10 last night when I with the email or whenever it was. I read it and I'm like, wow, it keeps getting better and better. So thank you, Peter. Thank you, everyone, for sharing.
Thank you, Stephen. That's the other thing to realize is we talk a lot about a magnificence. Each one of you is a magnificence, and it's different and sequential. Anything, any experience that you take on is approved by your magnificence. Whether your magnificence is operating with you remotely or locally. Remote has been a lot of time. Local is right in front of you, or you've already passed. Period. That's one of the beauties of quantum. There aren't a whole lot of rules, just relationships. And you do them or you don't. Your choice. So 31. More questions?
About
Peter.
skill, sorry.
Sorry,
Wants to
Peter is
speak.
32 with Diane, Hoyt, and Ani together.
Hi, Nori.
Hi. Go ahead, Nuno.
So I have two sharings. One is from, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, after I did after I self-chose to return to quantum, and I think that happened before I did it consciously. And I was at the beach at a site that I go with purple, lots of rocks, all rocks, a very rocky place. And I was by the water, and behind us there's a military place, and the guy was waving to us, look, there's something behind you, and he could not pass this way. So I went back, and that's a whole rocky place, very hazard, a lot of traps for people that don't walk very well. And there was this lady trapped. She had fell backwards in a hole. She could have been seriously injured, but she didn't do a scratch on her. She fell in the only place, the hole that the body, her body fitted just the hole with a little sand, and their head was like an inch away from all these rocks. So she fell backwards in a place like a Tetris piece, and she was uninjured completely. I always felt that was something, I don't know, related from me being there. And when I get to the lady, I said, whoa, what is this? And I started to talk to her because we called the paramedics and an ambulance. And I was just, talking to her and being kind to her. And eventually she told me she was going to take her life at the sea. And she in a hole and not a single injured, not a little bit of blood. And she was trapped there. So the paramedics came and took her away. I always had something in my mind that told me that was something, I don't know, about my quantum, because there was something really close in me and with her. And I stayed with her, and I was kind to her and speaking all kinds of kind things, because and she told me I was going to take my life. She hadn't anything with her because she already expected to go into the sea and swim away, like 60, 70 years. She was really depressed. This is one story from a long time ago. My first world story. And now the second one is really quick, is about right now, because I'm on my computer and now I can see you in large scale. So Peter is really big, I can see you really well, and everybody that talks really well. And I'm 48 years old, and for the last 5 years, I am having trouble seeing close, like most of us. And this has happened before, but now it's so clear today. I'm very happy about this, because whenever I'm focusing, I can see very clear and very focused the person in front of me. So my eyes are getting better, and I don't use any glasses. So this is another skill, and this is obviously related to our magnificence, our mastery, our youth and healing. So thank you. And that's all.
Thank you, Nina. Who's next? Who would like the talking stick?
Does growing more hair count?
Sure. Remember, you are your magnificence. And the closer you come to that, eventually there is no separation. And you become your magnificence. And you use quantum strength. And use your knowledge. You use your knowing, right? No new talent. You use your knowing to never give up, to always be kind. No exceptions. If Juno had gotten negative with that person, she may have taken her life, but she didn't. There is never any alternative to love, because love comes from balance. There's never any alternative to being positive, because being positive comes from balance. So love and being positive, no matter how negative, you will never go wrong. And you will be your magnificence, not separate from it.
I've been receiving a lot of ask, heard, love responses for all questions about like what should be the next menu item. You know, love is the answer. Like, okay, let's. How do we get from here to there? But yeah, I have to agree. It's
Hi, it's Ed. I'm trying to unmute. Am I? Yeah, I'm unmuted. I wanted to share, if I may here. I've noticed my body buzzing in certain locations, and I'm really interested in all of our other stories of others that might have a similar experience with their body buzzing. I can feel it on my solar plex at times. I can feel it at the top of my head at times. And it's very interesting, the last few days especially.
I could feel my heart yesterday. That was pretty neat.
Who said that?
I did.
Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia.
You're
I
welcome.
can't, I can feel it in my hand sometimes and in like here the other day, but I hear it. I can hear it.
Yeah, it's definitely buzzing.
And I look for my cell phone because usually I'm not holding it and I'm like, okay, what's happening? Because I'll be like, that was me that did that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Wow.
I hear a high pitched tone, sometimes usually in my left ear, but once in a while in my right ear. And I haven't been able to figure out if that's different beings that are trying to connect to me on the left or the right. But I know it's some kind of download is how it feels. It's very energetic. And I just don't know what it is, but I think my quantum obviously knows what is the information coming in. And I know it's information, I just don't know what it is. But yeah, I hear the very high-pitched sound. And it's energetic.
Hi. Hi, Peter. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Deborah.
Deborah. My name doesn't
yes.
say Deborah.
Oh, hi, Deborah.
Oh, yes, it does.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Deborah.
I just wanted to share about the question the last sir made about the buzzing, because lately I've been feeling like my heart a lot. And I was doing a breath work the other day before I go to sleep, and I had like electrical spasms during my sleep, I guess. So since I'm new to this, I would like to share so I can have an input from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah.
I've been clairaudient for about 2 years now, always consistently hearing a tone of varying frequencies in both ears. Occasionally it'll be more noticeable than one ear or the other. And sometimes the frequencies will pitch, on a dime very suddenly. So I've been hearing that for over 2 years. I've been thinking about that in terms of my quantum self, my quantum magnificence. And I have decided that is the tones that I hear are my frequency, my own personal frequency that I am able to discern, in my case, because of my clairaudience of just sensitivity to hearing. That is definitely a pre-quantum idea. But remember, I have the viewpoint that all systems that we may have formerly believed in lead up to the quantum experience. So that is a pre-quantum expression of my own self that I'm able to discern. That's my take on the tones that I hear.
Yeah, eventually we will understand everything. So right now, there's 9,000 words. Takes half minute speed reading if you're into speed reading. Half minute. It takes 5 years to understand it to the bottom. Half minute, 5 years. Quite a difference. It takes 5 years to return to quantum. We get faster, probably. How we know? Because it'll happen. And if it happened for you, it can happen for others. There's no script. We started as quantum. We did 5,000 super cycles as one. We learned to know, we learned to handle new, and we learned to balance, and then love, and then positivity, because they are also ways to balance. You don't balance with lack of love. You don't balance with being negative, period. And then we went from one to oneness, and added a magnificence for each one of us. We expanded. Period. And then we added, or we finally achieved quantum strength, balance, pain. With holographic energy, it gets complex. But it isn't complex once you learn what each one of those means to the bottom. If you don't spend time on it, you don't go to the bottom. It's simple. But if you go to the bottom, you get there. And then it's magical. But it's magical because you didn't have somebody else do it for you and tell you about it. You yourself did it. You guys are making really good progress. Good is positivity. It's part of balance. It's just another word. We use balance, love, positivity. It's 3. You can add a 4th, but you don't need to.
Peter,
Yes.
I don't think you were on the call in the beginning. I went back to the sledding hill on a day that nobody was there and it was completely white. And I wasn't listening to my magnificent. I couldn't see where I was going. And these kids created a mogul. So you probably know what that is. Well, when I was on top of it, I could see it. And I thought I was a goner. I grabbed onto everything I could and it hurt. But what you're talking about, the quantum strength, I don't think I'd be here if I just grabbed a hold and I just kept using what I knew without thinking about it. It just happened.
Right.
And I wanted to say lately, because I heard Judy talk about it one day, and I listened to your 41 frequencies for about 2 years straight, and then I kind of forgot about them. Well, I've been listening to them again, and they really help. And I keep wanting to say thank you for them. They really are very opening.
Yeah, when they were being developed, when I was developing them, I didn't like to listen to some of them.
Yeah, they're harsh, but you get used to it.
They are.
I've had Harry go, "Oh my God, what are you listening to?" He can hear it.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you, Alex.
You're very welcome. Thank you. But go ahead. When you were developing them, you developed them a long time ago.
Indeed. And it cost me $3,000 a month to share.
I thought that's what you said.
And I mean, to me, that's a lot of money now.
Yes.
Once we start to take advantage of our skills and go to barter, we won't need money. And all the money changers will disappear because there'll be no demand for it. But we have to go through that transition, and we will.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi,
It's
Sunny.
Sunny.
Welcome.
Hi, Sunny.
Yes. Hi.
I see a
Well, I was
green
tuned in for
telephone.
about 4 words and then that's it.
Sunny.
I love you all. Goodbye.
Oh, love you.
Bye, Sunny.
Good, she's still here. Yay.
Peter, this is Nancy. I have a couple questions about some of the quantum truths on the website. And one of them is under light. It says it's holographic or real, I think it says energy. But in quantum, there is no energy. Is that correct?
Correct.
But
well, you can't say that, but energy is to be used. It's not a tool, real energy. That's heaven.
It's a precursor.
Well, no, it'll always be used, but you'll know when to use it. And you'll know that during the day, you want experiences. And you get those using holographic energy. During the night, you want to regenerate. And you will use that because you want to regenerate. We'll use holographic energy unless we need real energy. So we'll go back and forth.
Very well said. Very well said.
Thank you.
can you also explain, it says that art is pre-quantum?
Well, who's talking?
This is Nancy. again.
Nancy. Page 2, Peter.
Right up here.
You see her?
So Where's Nancy?
Page
right.
2, she's waving.
Oh, thank you, Nancy.
Put a little, raise your hand when you go to do that.
That's a good idea.
Pre-quantum is basically pre-quantum. You're not ready for quantum. You're not ready to take responsibility for your life. You'd rather blame it on God or the Holy Ghost or Jesus or the Creator. Well, that's the blame game. So if you want to play the blame game, have at it. Have fun. But you're not going any place except circles. And if you want to go for circles for millions of years, do it. If you get tired of circles and you want to grow personally, you want to grow your skills, you want to prepare yourself for when there's no need for money, it's another self-choice. Do what you want to do. Do you want eternal youth? You're not going to find that in pre-quantum. Do you want endless youth? In other words, the youth never ends. You're not going to find that in pre-quantum. But maybe you don't want that. The only thing we don't like is evil, which is live spelled backwards. But evil is Earth too. I'm sorry it isn't more complex, but it isn't. We either want to return to quantum, because that's where we started, or we like the blame game, and that's pre-quantum. It's all real clear now on the website, and it's all up front. There's 10 sentences on pre-quantum, and there's 10 sentences for quantum. And there's all kinds of words that give all the details. So it's all there. And it's your self-choice, which doesn't matter. We don't like evil. We just live back. We like living forward. And if you want to live forward but have people to blame on, choose pre-quantum. If you want to return to where you came from, choose return to quantum. It all works on self-choice. But evil, it's like you're so far into this dark hole, it can't get out. Does that help, Nancy?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not just speaking for myself, especially within this group, but I personally, I was born tired of the circles, of the divine circles. Really early, I looked at everything and I say, everything is wrong. And it was, and I think it's the same for most of us. It was a harsh battle with this strange reality that we were imposed from earlier years. So we are here because we have to be here. We have to do this. And thank you, Peter, because until you were here, there was no solution in sight.
And
I thought there
remember,
was something, but
the trigger was quantum strength. And quantum strength allows us to balance pain. When we're using real energy, we don't have any pain to balance. So when you've activated the real energy vortex, it hurts. But then you're healing much faster. And so you're balancing the pain, which is temporary, to healing faster. And we can do that. If we need to heal, we use real energy.
I have a question regarding that.
Please.
So there's no pain in real energy, but there's still fear to balance.
There's no death. There's no pain.
So how about the spiritual ego? Is still holographic?
Yes.
Okay, that's important. Thank you.
The trickster is holographic. Because you're not using the trickster when you're asleep.
Right, of course. It makes total sense.
Let's look at real energy, uses of real energy. Are they giving us states? No.
They're giving what?
We have the dates
Updates.
because of our experience. Why don't I have youth? Because of you. Period. What good are a bunch of partials? They're not. But I've taught you how to deal with the energies. I'm still here because we're still learning. As I said, most of us are past the quantum threshold. That's halfway. 2 3/4 years, 11 quarters. But you're halfway. So that means you have another 2.5 years to go.
Peter, I have a question
Please.
about being a surrogate for others and ourselves. How far can we take that for other people?
It's a skill. So the answer is very far.
Very far. And that's just with communicating with their magnificence and
Yeah, and you don't even have to worry about who you're communicating. It's what you're doing is helping their magnificence. It doesn't matter whether they are remote or local.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you saying, this is Diane, are you saying that we're holding you back from starting to youth?
Yes,
So what do we have to do?
be yourself. We're doing fine. My point is that if I were selfish, I'd be young. And you guys would be further away from me. But I'm not. I'm appreciative of you. And I'm helping you. And when we're ready, you all help me. So there's going to come a time when we're going to take the next step. And I'll be able to be young and it won't disrupt any of you. And others of you will follow very quickly.
Thank you, Peter. I like that. It's Ed.
It's awesome. We are always doing that for others.
Yes, that's exactly right. We're helping each other.
Yeah.
And to Stephen, I was hearing inside of me, how far does Stephen want to take it?
To the bottom, of course.
As we all are, yes.
As we are, yes.
And Peter, thank you for holding on and bringing us in. I feel it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Peter.
We're all one. So if we didn't behave that way, we wouldn't be that way. We'd be a bunch of separates, all fighting for themselves, some of them becoming evil. We're not that way. In the experiences that we have, although we're not conscious of them, we still have them and still affect us. Look at Judy. Judy is Plato. She has all of those experiences. She wrote 36 books. Does she remember any of that? Only the one she recognizes. But all of those experiences are still there. We have the Mayan 10. We're all together. It's amazing. We ascended using astrology and astronomy. We lined up all sorts of things. On Easter Sunday, when the tomb came open, there was a switch. And it wasn't Jesus that came out and went on for 6 years. It was myself. We've had many attempts each day, but we've had one story that literally started 14,500 supersites ago, and we're all part of that story. No exceptions, none. Your self-choice and where you go, sure, we all have that. But we're still at 30. The self-choice you have made is to be here. It's real simple. You're here. You all
Here
have
and now.
different reasons, but you're here. It's real simple. There are zillions in the 1,000 star system. Where are they? Pre-quantum. Where are you? Here. Listen.
True.
Peter, this is Alfred.
Yes. Alfred.
Are we the only ones
Yes.
do require?
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Hello,
You can't
did the call
return
drop?
quantum without learning.
Anyone there?
Yes, Sunny, we can hear you.
Sunny, what do you have to share?
Sunny, you're muted. Unmute yourself. Hi, Sunny.
Or maybe she was having a side conversation with somebody.
You can hear me now? I can't hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can't hear anything now. Well, if you can still hear me, know that I love you all. And thank you, Peter. I got to hear a few of your very precious words. And well, I'm sure glad you're still here. Even though you're not euthaning yet. We'll do it together. Love you all. Bye.
Bye,
Bye, Sunny. Thank you for speaking.
Hi, Christina. This is Jilly. Welcome back. Which kitty cat is that?
This one, he's my oldest. He's he'll be 16 months.
Oh.
Persian. He's very
Peter?
friendly.
Peter,
Yes.
this is Jan. I just wanted to share that it seems to me that things are getting simpler, and it mostly feels like everyone is in the flow, which always is a good sign. But I think the quantum entanglement is so profound for a good while now. I mean, when Lee was having her challenge, it just felt like we were locked arm in arm, the whole group. And when I have a question, if I can formulate the question precisely, then I hear you answering it or one of the others in the group answering it. And now I'm getting to really get to know people's skills, because it's interesting because we all do have such a variety of skills, and so that's very exciting. But I mostly just feel happy, and I'm really glad that you're hanging back to help us because it's making a huge difference. And so that's all I wanted to say. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you, Jan.
Yay, thank you, Jan. How sweet.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Peter, this is Diana. Have you had any more visitation or communication with Ashtar?
Diana, what was that again?
We haven't seen you for several weeks. Have you had any recent communications or visitations from Ashtar?
Ashtar and I communicate all the time. The most recent time was about 20 minutes before the call. Ashtar is ready to go. He has no ego. He realizes he's lacking experience on the surface. And he is looking forward to gaining some of that experience by direct contact with you guys. Not all at once, separately.
I experienced Ashtar over my right shoulder observing and Sananda over my left.
Who said that?
Cynthia.
Oh, okay. So Ashtar over your right, Sananda over your left.
Correct.
Sananda, Holy Ghost, and Prime Greater.
Oh, thank you.
Behind Ashtar. Ashtar of the Celestials is the closest to you all.
Yay. Well, he's more than welcome to come visit Oregon.
Peter, is that why you started the calls saying, beam me up, Scotty?
No, I wanted you to understand, and I knew you have all heard that, being named Scotty. It's part of teleportation. Well, going into Challenger 35 years ago and
Right.
beaming the people out, that's part of teleportation. It's a different part, but it's basically the same technology.
And you just mentioned that he would be seeing us one at a time. And I thought maybe you had this conversation 20 minutes before had something to do with, we're going to start doing some of that. Maybe that's just wishful thinking.
No, it is. You are going to start. You're all be on the threshold.
Thank you so much.
In many cases, you won't even know you've done it
That's all.
because you won't use your mind, thought, consciousness, ego, brain.
Would this be during sleeping, possibly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a vivid dream
Okay.
where Ashtar uses the mind
Would
to
we
have
have,
the contact.
would we have recall of him being part of that, or we may not have? that recall.
May not have, may have it.
Okay,
It depends on you.
thank you.
So Wendy, what's your question? That Wendy.
Which Wendy?
That one. Wendy Potts.
Oh.
Me?
Mhm.
I don't have a question.
You do.
I do. Oh.
Oh, that's very sweet, Peter. That's just beautiful.
Has
That's a
has
beautiful thing to notice. Wow.
Has Ashtar visited any of us yet?
Yes. And you're one of them.
Hey, I don't remember.
Good question, Wendy.
Again, don't worry about it because the mind, thought, brain conscious is so different than the true you.
Of course.
Who would like to?
I just have to say, Peter, this is so very sweet to experience. And I know there's others of us here that have these, and it's just beautiful to watch the sweetness emerge. Whether it's Metatron. Thank you.
Well, Metatron appeared in Super Cycle 60. The first 6 came in Super Cycle 0.
You're going back to your old system. It was 1000 when you came out on the site map.
When we finalized how we're going to gain experience.
Peter, Stephen, I have a question.
Yes.
Do you communicate with, or does Saint Germain play a role in your past experiences?
Well, Saint Germain is kind of the archangel of archangels.
Okay.
And he, when he came forward, was kind of the key person. And he's a go-to person for many, many of those who came later. But he uses real energy. And as of 1000 super cycles ago, we finalized, it took us a while, 997 cycles to finalize experience. And then Ashtar took over the fleet from me. And basically I came to Earth to get ready for quantum strength, which finally came June 1st, 2016. So when it comes to creation, we're slow, but boy, are we thorough.
Thank you.
Ed, you're muted.
Recalling Adamus. A lot of experience.
Yeah, it is. You guys have a lot of experience. Your brain, thought, mind, consciousness tell you haven't. But the reality is you have.
I have a really quick request. I've noticed in the last month that I don't think I've received any emails from anyone in the group, and I'm thinking I might have been bumped off the list somehow. If you could just double check that for me, I'd really appreciate it.
Wendy, you're on the email list for the calls, and that's why you haven't received any. We haven't had any calls since.
I know that, but I thought it was odd that I wasn't receiving any communication from anybody in the group because everybody's always sending wonderful emails out, but I haven't received anything other than your email about.
Yeah, that's it, because I have the list that's about these calls, and Peter has a smaller list that he communicates with. So,
Oh, I'm not on that list then.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Have you checked your junk mail?
Yeah.
Hopefully, Apple will expand their capability from 33 to 50, but they haven't yet.
That shouldn't impact email though, Dad. Should it? I mean, you can add the email list. It sounds like she got dropped off your email list somehow.
She did. And the email list is the same list as the sharing list. So you can email or you can share and you reach the same people. The advantage of the email list is you can forward emails. You can't forward sharings. We're dealing with zillions of people. And so we've had to accommodate for that now. And then as technology expands, if it does, we'll expand. But right now, this is the list that represents expansion.
Peter,
There is no reason for that which is email to be forwarded to others. Do it. Because eventually it won't just be me. It will be me and you. But to turn you loose before you're ready, you don't want to do that. So we have to keep in sync our sharing, our emails, and our calls. And with Zoom and the added improvements to security, it's a tool that will allow us to grow. And then eventually, you each will have those view that you wanted to grow. But you will also have the ability to stay abreast to what's happening. So we're in the process of growing from 33 to zillions. And you have to think of that now, not then.
Peter, it's an hour and 20 minutes into the call right now.
Thank you. And we're at 29. Yeah. Are there any last minute questions?
Yes. Do you think that we're closer to having our meeting with you in Colorado? Which has to
Oh,
do
yeah.
with the RV?
Yeah, I'm hopeful that it takes place. I'm hopeful, right? It's not a word that on quantum or pre-quantum, but the first half of this year before summer solstice.
I say March 15th. I'm voting for March 15th.
There you go. My birthday is March 15th, so I thought that too.
Only 3 days away from mine, March 18th.
Really?
And Noreen's son, I believe, is the 18th as well.
Say that again, Stephen.
I think one time on my birthday, you said your son has the same birthday as me, March 18th.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember that? Maybe that was someone else. I'm sorry.
No worries.
My birthday is March the 6th, 369.
Very cool.
Mine's March the 5th.
Oh, nice. A lot of March birthdays.
Yeah.
Party in March.
Yeah.
Marching forward.
Indeed. So, Christina, you were driving and now you guys are home.
Yes, yeah, we got home. Had to do the big carry. And unload the car. You remember those?
Indeed. So, any other requests for the talking stick?
Dad, I have one question because you're always trying to fine tune your words. So on the website, why do you say 1,000 quantum truths and quantum? Why do you have?
Because
do
there
you have
are.
to say quantum?
Well, you can say truths.
Okay.
I do it
It's
to
simpler.
be sure people know.
Okay.
That they're quantum. But you guys
Peter.
know that. So you don't need that. That's more help for others.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Peter. This is Carminia.
Hi, Armenia.
I could like to ask a question. Because I see planet Earth as a sick planets because everything that we're doing here affect the whole creation. In my case, I'm looking forward. How soon can we be interacting with a species from another, universe or galaxy or another planet? Because I know that we have not control in this planet that that they don't allow like an openness for us to be interacting with other species. And the control machine that we have in this planet is like keeping people sleeping and not aware of all the creation that is surrounding us, that we are isolated here in this corner of this galaxy. How soon do you think that can be the interacting with another species and in the a freely way?
Well, there are two parts to that. If it's your magnificence, sooner than if it's your mind, thought, brain, consciousness. And only you know that. And then the other factor is direct versus remote operation by your magnificence.
However, I'm talking about in general in these planets, because I'm thinking about myself. I openings for that contacting other species in the whole thing in these planets. How do you see the process to move forward that this planet can be interacting with another species?
It's up to the self-choice of every single person. There is no script.
Okay, then you don't see anything like a possibility and like in a wholeness in the planets, like it has to be everybody individual to looking forward.
I've answered the question.
I said, then you see
No.
that.
I've answered the question.
Mhm.
So it's your self-choice. Nobody else's. Look at the rest of the people. It's not them. Look at me. It's not me. Look at you. It is you. I don't know what you are going to choose. None of those on this call know what you're going to choose.
Then as a whole consciousness in this planet, we don't have, I don't have to looking for as whole consciousness in the planet. I just have to looking for individual, like in singularity.
I would, if it were me, I'd read the website more.
Herminia, you're asking questions that are really more pre-quantum.
Right.
So it's, Peter is at, he's not going to give you the information that you are looking for because it's pre-quantum. And so this call is all about returning to quantum. And so we're focused on quantum. So you're going to keep asking questions, but he can't answer them for you because it's what you're asking is not what we're really working on here. Does that make sense?
That's what Diana is sharing is accurate.
Does that make sense to you, Herminia?
Herminia, the question is unanswerable.
Yeah.
It is, because you're asking for a humanitarian answer for all, and the question doesn't fit all. It fits one, which is you, which is me when I need to answer that question. Everybody's different, and their openness is different. So I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, Armenia, if I may add something, most of those questions, you really have to deal with them yourself. because that's part of the process. Your uniqueness, that's something I had, and we have tons of those, but then we just work with ourselves, and most of them just go away, and you will eventually answer yourself most of the questions and doubts you have. They'll disappear, but you have to do it. You have to ask yourself the questions more often than others, then look for exterior inputs for most of those questions. You'll get there. You have to trust yourself.
Yes, and using the many of one website will help you. And then your magnificence may say to you that you don't need to ask the question.
Yeah.
And just let it go. But the many of one
Quantum-
website will definitely help.
Quantum is not going to answer questions for all of humanity. It's only going to be applicable to you yourself.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We love you and we support you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we all have those, Erminia, our heads. And we move on, we move forward. And then the dialogue is different, very different, because you're using more and more truths and yourself, your magnificence, the dialogue with your magnificence. And that's just between you and yourself.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And the tools are all on the website.
Yeah, every single tool. $9,000 words. If you're into speed reading, you can speed read it in less than a minute.
I definitely want that skill.
That's a great skill.
Yes, please.
For all of those updates.
So any other question?
I just want to say thank you for those updates. That's amazing what you've done. Remember when you had it down to 14,500 words and now you have it at 9,000? That's really amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Wendy.
Peter.
Are there any birthdays in February that we need to be, people we need to sing to? Alex?
February 19th.
Bonnie and Alex.
Bonnie is February.
No, Bonnie's on 28th.
I'm the 19th.
You're the 19th. Happy birthday, Alex.
65.
Yay for
11.
you. And thank you for
Yay.
that beautiful heart.
And Christina was the 5th.
The 5th.
Oh, yay,
Yes.
Christina.
And Rupert is the 25th.
Rupert. That's right.
Most important.
Yes, most important.
Yeah.
And I have a sister that's the 28th, right on Bonnie's birthday.
Wow.
I heard a cat.
Birthday to her.
Thank you.
Well, happy 65, Alex.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, and we'll find you.
So
Endlessly forward.
I guess that's it.
Well, it sure was nice to see everybody.
It sure was.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's
nice
to hear from
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Bye,
Love
Danica.
you.
Thank you.
I do.